I started working out at about $120, so I was kind of a lightweight. Wasn't very big, was not very confident in my body, physique, mentality, anything. My name is Jay, and today I will be giving you the full skinny to bulk guide that I wish I had when I very first started working out. And I'm going to be giving you guys everything you need to know in order to build muscle and feel more confident in yourself mentally and physically. Let's go ahead and get right into the video, you guys. I'm going to be giving you guys every single step and every single tip that I wish I knew when I very first started working out, and all the things that I noticed have made the biggest difference along my fitness journey, as well as all of the people that I have coached myself. With that being said, the breakdown, we're going to be going over everything from diet, what to avoid, your exercise routines and splits. This is a big one that a lot of people are confused about. How to actually train, your discipline, your hormone and mental health is a very important part of training. You never want to allow the gym or anything that's supposed to benefit you to be a negative in your life. There is such thing as too much of a good thing. I'll tell you that right now. Training with free weights or machines, as well as we can go the body weight route. And lastly, we will be going over 3 things that will make your entire journey easier. So make sure that you guys watch the end of the video to see all the different tips. The first thing that we're going to talk about is how to get over the initial friction and what to do to take those first steps to get into the gym or get into your fitness journey in general, whether you're going to weightlifting, body weight, calisthenics, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different things that you can do to get over that first initial hump. The very first step is always the hardest step of your journey. I'll tell you that right now. So 3 things that'll make your journey easier. Firstly, as silly as it sounds, find somebody who has the same goals as you, or the same drive as you, or the same reason as you. When it comes to working out or doing something, nobody likes to do things alone. So if you can find a friend or a buddy who also wants to get in shape and also wants to better their life and mental, then it would be a great idea for you to pick somebody who you know will go to the gym with you consistently, and you know you guys can push each other to do better, as well as critique each other in the gym a little bit, or body weight, whatever it is you guys choose to do. Secondly, educating yourself. Do not underestimate educating yourself. When it comes to going to the gym or when it comes to doing anything new in your life, of course it's going to be discouraging when you know nothing about it. But if you do go into the gym, or if you do start lifting and you know, or you have a little bit of knowledge around what you're trying to do or what it should look like, it's not going to be perfect the first time that you curl a dumbbell, the first time that you squat. Your form is not going to be perfect. But if you have an idea of what it should look like, educating yourself, watching YouTube videos, watching tutorials and shorts, if you go in with a general idea, you're taking notes, and you are preparing yourself to what you need to be doing, and you go in with a plan, I promise you will feel much more confident than if you just decide to go and you walk around and you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what the equipment is called, and you don't know what it should look like. So secondly, I would highly recommend educating yourself, watching a couple videos here and there while you're eating a meal, and really go in prepared. Start at home. I started at home. I think a lot of people do. I was not very confident when I very first started working. I started working out at about $120, so I was kind of a lightweight. Wasn't very big, was not very confident in my body, physique, mentality, anything. So where I started working out at home, doing ab workouts, push-ups, getting basic form down, doing a little bit of cardio, riding my bike, really getting my body prepared for what I knew was going to be in the gym. You have bikes, you have weights, you have push-ups. And if you look closely, most of the at-home movements or body weight movements are just different renditions of the actual movements in the gym, which would be bench press, squatting, curls, things like that. I had some little adjustable weights that I used at home. They went up to like 10, 20 pounds, and I started off with those, doing push-ups, sit-ups, and crunches. That is where I started, and that's where I recommend a lot of other people start to build that initial confidence in yourself and your capabilities. Lastly with that, track your workouts with videos or on paper. When it comes to tracking your workouts with videos and paper, you can really see your progression. It can be a little bit discouraging going into the gym, and the first month or 2, you're not necessarily going to see physical progress, big biceps, veins, shredded looks. You will see and feel little differences in your weight, your energy levels, tightness of your skin, and a couple of different other things that we can get into later. But when it comes to the first month or 2 of the gym, tracking your progress with videos, metrics, on paper, all these different things are really going to help you get a visual representation of what you're doing and help you feel more confident in what you are doing. So let's touch on diet a little bit. When it comes to diet, you really don't want to overcomplicate this. There are a couple different ways that you could go about this, especially with with all the different diets, keto, vegan, carnivore. There's lots of different routes that you can go with this. But to keep it simple, if you are looking to gain weight and bulk from skinny and get big, the easiest way to track your macros and the easiest way to build muscle would be to make sure that you are in a caloric surplus of at least 200 to 500 more than your maintenance. The easiest way to figure this out is to either look up a calculator, a macros calculator like I have up on the screen right now. This will calculate about a baseline of what your caloric intake should be based off of your age, your height, your weight, and then from here you can really experiment and toggle back and forth with what's working and what's not, tracking other metrics along your journey. You don't want to overdo this, and you especially want to make sure that these are quality calories, not empty calories such as fried foods, oils, and sugars. There are good sugars, but there are also bad sugars for you. You really want to stay away from processed sugars and things that are not going to benefit you in any way, shape, or form. Eat 0.8 to 1 grams of protein per pound of body weight, and this will really help you make sure that you're getting a sufficient amount of protein to feed your muscles and feed your body with all of this new exercise and strain on your nervous system and your muscles. As well as a common misconception is that you only need protein and you want to avoid carbohydrates. Make sure that you eat your carbs, and especially make sure that you eat your greens. When you first start working out, your tendons and your muscles are not going to be used to this kind of wear and tear, so having greens in your diet is really going to help strengthen your tendons and your muscles, which work together, as well as your bones. You want every single part of your body working together as efficiently and well as possible. Don't forget carbs. Carbs are your source of energy. Carbs are a source of transporting nutrition throughout your body, and carbohydrates are good for holding in water, which you need when it comes to building muscle. Let's talk about what to avoid when trying to put on weight. Injuries. Ego lifting is the number one thing that I would highly suggest avoiding. Touching back on what I said earlier about educating yourself and learning the different things in the gym. So what we're gonna do, I've already suggested working out at home, but for the rest of this video, we're gonna pretend that all of you have worked out at home and we're going to the gym. When it comes to lifting weights and when it comes to going to the gym, these are gonna be brand new things to your body, and it's gonna be brand new to you physically and mentally. As obvious as it sounds, it obviously isn't as obvious as it needs to be. When it comes to ego lifting, you really want to educate yourself on what proper form looks like, the different ratios of eccentric motion, pushing motion. You really want to educate yourself on how long of a hold you want to do. You don't want to go in there, throw the weight around, act like you're big, and act like you know what you're doing. You really want to educate yourself and be precise with your movements, and you want everything to be as quality as possible. The more efficient that you are with all of your movements in your weightlifting sessions, the more muscle and the more weight that you're going to see in a short period of time. Overtraining. Mike Menzer talks a lot about overtraining, and me personally, I've learned in the last year what overtraining does to you and how ineffective it is. I used to work out every single day, and I pride myself on working out every single day for 2 years straight. 365 days a year, on the holidays, gonna find an open gym. I promise you that. But I tell you, working out 7 days a week, every single day, is really not the best thing to put on weight and gain muscle. It's not. As great as it feels to chase an aerobic pump and constantly feel pumped up and constantly have a dopamine rush, it feels amazing, don't get me wrong, and you can do it, but it is not the most efficient for building muscle and putting on weight. When it comes to growing, when you go to the gym, you are not building muscle. You are tearing muscle down, and you are tearing your body down. Growing muscle and gaining weight happens outside of the gym, while you're sleeping, while you're eating, while you're resting, while you're recuperating. All of the growth happens when you are resting. So make sure that your programming leaves enough room for rest for you to build muscle and gain weight. And we will talk about programming and the best way to program your workouts later in this video. Hold yourself accountable. Now, when it comes to avoiding things, avoid skipping the gym. That's the number one thing. If you tell yourself that you're gonna go to the gym, and if you tell yourself you're gonna do something, you're making a promise to yourself, and you need to hold yourself accountable. Don't slack off and say you're gonna do it later. Don't say that you're gonna do it tomorrow. Don't say that you might get to it. Don't make an excuse for yourself either. When it comes to holding yourself accountable, this is what I like to call the active defiance act. When you are actively defying what you don't want to do, you are conscious of what you should be doing. If you know what you should be doing, you need to go ahead and do it. There's no other time that you are going to do it unless you catch yourself. Life gets busy, but if you're sitting around on your phone scrolling through TikTok and you're like, oh, I should go to the gym, you should probably go to the gym right then and there. Don't put it off till later. Let's talk about how to actually train. Training with intensity is the utmost important part of building muscle effectively. So when it does come to building muscle and intensity, what is intense enough and what is too intense? Well, to be exact, everybody has a different threshold of pain and intensity that they can actually push themselves to. So, for example, when it comes to training in a more hypertrophic manner, which will be the 10 to 15 rep range, what you're going to be looking for is 2 sets warming up or climbing the ladder, and you're gonna get 10 to 12. It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be easy. The next 2 sets, you want to get 10 to 12. The last 2 sets of that should be hard, and you should barely be able to get that last rep. You don't want to go up in weight, or you don't want to go too crazy. You want to make sure the eccentric portion or the bottom portion of your exercise is slow enough, or you're squeezing enough at the top to make sure that those last few reps are actually a lot harder. It's causing you to sweat, and it's a lot more strenuous. You should not be able to get that last rep with ease. You should be struggling, and you should be trying to get that last rep up. Intensity is all about having the right balance of time of rest in between, as well as going up in weight and making sure the last rep is effort. The last rep should not be effortless by no means. Train with purpose. This is a very big one for me because a lot of people go into the gym, they want to get big, but they don't really know what they want. They don't know the look that they want. They don't know the shape that they want. They don't know if they want a fighter's body, a bodybuilder, power lifter. They don't know what they want. Train with purpose. Find a physique that you draw inspiration from or you're motivated by. Find a style that looks a little bit like your body or your frame. If you see somebody with bigger bones and you have bigger bones, try to gear your workouts towards them, because sorry to say, but if you have bigger bones and you're trying to go after the guy that has a 28-inch waist and he's got bird bones, you're just not gonna look like that guy. Be realistic with yourself up front, and also set goals for yourself. Make them big goals, but make sure that they're achievable goals, and do your research behind them. So when I say train with a purpose, make sure that you're programming and training different muscles and different ways to achieve your goals. If you're looking to get that V taper, make sure that you're training the right muscles, and also train your legs, because you need your quads to look hourglass like at the bottom and your lats to look wide at the top if you want to get that V taper look. So train your legs as well. But train with purpose and coordinate your workouts according to your goals. Talking about training with your goals, train with a goal and train with a timeline. When it comes to training, progressive overload is the #1 way to build muscle and progress your physique. So when it comes to training with a timeline, generally people train on an 8 to 12 week program that they follow consistently. Don't be bouncing back and forth between workouts with different weights and different machines. You're not really gonna know what works for you, what makes your muscles grow, what makes you sore. You're not gonna be able to gauge properly what you're doing in the gym if you're bouncing all over the place. So when you train with a purpose and when you train with a goal and a timeline, this will really help you track your progress, track your metrics, and know what is and what is not working. So make sure that you give yourself a strong timeline, and make sure that you give yourself a strong plan to be successful. Make a goal. My official goal when I was 110, 120 pounds, my goal was to be 150 pounds. I wanted big legs, big arms, and a big back. I told myself within 3 months that I wanted to be able to bench 225, that I wanted to be able to squat 225, and that I would be able to curl a certain amount of weight, and that I would be able to do 20 pull-ups. These are the goals that I set for myself, and I made sure I did everything that I could to hit those goals. And I did. I would go into the gym 7 days a week. Don't do this. This is what I did when I first started working out. But when you are first working out, it is okay to take advantage of those newbie gains and that extra energy that you have. But I do not recommend it if you want to grow and if you want to bulk. I just wanted more muscle. Went into the gym 7 days a week. I was in there lifting. If I was sore, I would take a break and do cardio or recovery, whatever it may be. But I would go in there. I had my little notebook, and I would go in there and I would write down what I did that day, what my lifts were. And the next time that I went into the gym, I made sure that I put on more weight, and I made sure that I did the same reps with the same workout, and lo and behold, my weight went up, my body weight went up, and my lifts improved significantly. So let's talk about discipline. Discipline is the #1 determining factor of if you will see progress in the gym or not. Consistency will make or break you when it comes to this fitness journey, but it will also make or break you in the scheme of life. Discipline is required to see results in any sector of your life, whether it's physically, mentally, financially, relationships. Discipline is required, and the gym will teach you discipline in all areas of your life, which is another reason that I highly recommend you hit the gym and you learn discipline now before it's too late. When it comes to discipline, if you want to see results in the gym, you can't go every 3 days or every other day. You have to have a schedule. Your body runs on a timer, and your muscles will respond on a timer. Even if you go every 2 days exactly, your body will know that it is time to work out every 2 days. If you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday every week, your body will know when it is time to work out on those days. Consistency is extremely important, not only for your internal and subconscious timers, but also to teach yourself dedication, discipline, and delayed gratification. I will be completely honest with you guys, like I said earlier in the video, you're not going to see results in the first 30 days, at least substantial results. You will see little changes in your weight, your body weight, your skin, and the energy levels, like I said, but you're not going to see crazy muscle growing, you're not going to see your striations and everything. But I would highly recommend that you learn to love delayed gratification. It is a waiting game, and when I was younger, I'll tell you guys, dude, the saying patience is a virtue is no joke. When I was 16 to 18, I was always complaining about how I couldn't gain weight, or how I couldn't do this, or how something is taking so long. And when I look back, honestly, you can look back 6 months and you can see a crazy amount of progress that you've made, especially if you're tracking all of it in videos and on paper. But when it comes to delayed gratification, I'm really gonna need you guys to become in love with this process and in love with this term. Delayed gratification is no joke, and if you can really learn to fall in love with the process and what you're doing, instead of focusing on hating it, learn to find things to like about it. Learn to like the after effects, learn to like the pump, learn to learn how to enjoy learning, learn how to enjoy educating yourself, learn how to enjoy getting better. If you can learn how to enjoy getting better, this will translate into multiple different sectors of your life, not only physically, but mentally, financially. This will benefit you in many different ways. And when I talk about dopaminergic release and dopamine release, this is a huge part of it. Instead of getting those quick little hits of dopamine scrolling through Instagram and watching motivational videos, I want you to do different things like check things off your checklist for the day. Do 3 tasks before the gym. Write a workout, write what you want to lift this week, and write an exact time or an exact movement you want to learn this week. Now what I want you to do is go complete all of those things and check them off, and I promise you this will feel a million times better than if you were to just go and scroll through a bunch of reels and feel like you're doing something motivational. Actually getting things done and practicing delayed gratification will take you so much farther than just quick hits of dopamine and not actually doing anything or getting anything done. Let's talk about hormones and mental health. This I'm absolutely huge on. If you look at my Instagram, it says mental health and mindset first. It is the first thing in my bio, and it is my biggest priority when it comes to young men. It is absolutely crucial that you watch your hormone levels and make sure that you take care of your energy and health. Mental health is extremely important, and yes, the gym does help with mental health, but do not use it to distract yourself from outside problems and things that you have going on outside of the gym. It is a great plug, and it is much better than drinking alcohol and smoking, but I would not recommend it to escape all of your problems and just distract yourself. Aside from that, watching your hormones and taking care of yourself mentally is also super attainable through different things such as consuming the right diet, taking the right vitamins, getting enough sun every day, drinking the correct amount of water every day, and even supplementing. Doing these different things though will help boost your metabolism, it'll help boost your testosterone, which will in turn make you feel stronger and better and more powerful. Drinking enough water will make you feel more energetic and less groggy every day. Taking care of all the little things in your life will really help boost your hormones, and if you want to take it a step further, you can honestly go get your blood work done, which I do. I like to get my blood work done just so that I can keep an eye on different things with different things that I experiment throughout the days, and to take very precise care of all of my different hormones and things that I'm doing, such as my liver, my heart, my blood count. All these different things matter to me, so if you want to take it a step further from vitamins, water, and nutrition, you can get your blood work done, and you can experiment with different things to help raise different levels such as creatine, your testosterone, estrogen, whatever your goals are. Blood work is a very interesting process, but also it's kind of exciting. You really get to see your performance and the exact levels that your body is performing at, and this is also kind of like a little reward for you. You could take a blood test before you start your journey, and then you could take one after you started your journey, and you can really see how much your entire body has improved and your overall health has skyrocketed through the roof. So if you do want to do this and you're not afraid of needles, I would highly suggest getting a blood test now and getting a blood test 3 months after you've been in the gym, and really look at how much your body has changed internally and physically. You would actually be amazed. Training with free weights or machines, this is a really good one, and there's many reasons to train with both. When it comes to cables, machines, and free weights, they all have their place in the gym and they all have their place in the bodybuilding, muscle building world. When it comes to machines, these are absolutely great for beginners. I'll tell you why is because they help with creating paths and motions that your body is really not used to. When it comes to bench pressing, if your arms are not used to moving in that motion with that much weight, I promise you going over there with 45-pound dumbbells and trying to do it is not going to be as easy as you think. If you go and you do an isolation machine, or if you do an isolation upper chest with a little bit of weight on it, and you get used to the movement that you're going to be doing with free weights, by the time that you get to the free weights, you will have strength in that area, your tendons will be stronger, your body will be used to that range of motion, and you will be much more better off than just starting with free weights. Free weights and cables, I do like to allocate into the advanced section of weightlifting because they are a little bit advanced, especially with cables, because you can really rip a muscle if you don't know what you're doing with cables, especially if there's weight on it. I would truly get all of the machines down packed, get all the isolation machines, do push-ups and body weight, get all of those things down packed, then move into cables and adding free weights. Free weights and cables are absolutely great for building stability in your muscles, tendons, and movements, as well as helping get that extra stretch in that range of motion that you probably can't get on a machine. So once you've really got those ISO machines down, then you can move into weights and free weights. And if you do have any questions about free weights and cables and things of that such, specifically for me about how to use them to grow, please feel free to leave a comment and I'd be more than happy to make an entire video about how to use these in an advanced, more effective and efficient way. All right, let's talk about splits, workout splits, and how to properly program. When it comes to working out, I very first started with the bro split. Everybody loves the Arnold bro split, which is basically you have legs, you have bis and tris, you have chest, you have shoulders, you have back and bis, and you can really mix these either way you want, but usually what people do is they'll go based off of really big muscle groups, and this is where I started. This is what I loved because it's basically the bro split. That's why they call it that. And all the bros love the beauty muscles, but I will say there's not quite enough leg training in there, and there's not quite enough functional training in there. But don't get me wrong, it's an absolutely great way to build muscle. As you can see right here, this was after 6 months of me lifting. I did football for 6 months before this, and then I did 6 months of bro split lifting. Honestly, looked and felt great, but like I said, it's not the most effective for hitting your legs 2 to 3 times a week. So when it comes to doing a push-pull split, you can do this with things such as chest and shoulders. The next day you could do hamstrings, and you could do a little bit of lower back like deadlifts and rows. The next day you could do back and bis, and then the very next day after that you could do push. It could basically be shoulders and quads. There are a lot of different ways that you can really build these programs. It all depends on how you are sore, what muscles progress faster, what is sore that day, and as well as adding at least 1 to 2 days of rest throughout your week. So splitting this up in a way that actually is effective for you is really going to depend on your training style. If you already have good legs and you're really just trying to get a bigger upper body, then you might want to program your workout to have 1 or 2 leg days and a majority upper body. So there's a push-pull, then you have your bro split, and then you have the training every single day, which a lot of people do in the beginning. Training every day can be interesting. Make sure that you hit your muscles accordingly to this level of soreness. If you are still sore, I would highly recommend not hitting that muscle. You need to give your body time to repair, and you need to give your body time to build that muscle back up. Otherwise, you're really just losing twice as much muscle at that rate. In between days, you can go swimming, you could do running, you could do saunas, cold baths, do recovery in between days. You could do push-ups, simple stuff, calisthenics. You can really do a lot of different things in between days if you really feel like you need to train every day. Make sure that you effectively program your workout to have rest days. Rest days are absolutely crucial if you are looking to bulk. If you guys do have any questions for me about building muscle, mental health, bulking, getting shredded, whatever it may be, you guys know where to find me, and I do hope you guys learned a lot from today's video. If you did, make sure that you subscribe below, turn on that bell so you guys can get the next video and help you progress on your fitness journey. I'll see you guys in the next video.